Today's recipe is a raw asparagus and pea salad from our June issue of Martha Stewart Living. Just opening a pea pod so you can see inside. I think you've seen these before. These are the English or garden peas, not the sugar snap peas that you eat the whole thing. So you're gonna need to open them up and then remove the peas from inside. And for this recipe, we blanched the peas. You just drop them in a pot of boiling water for like seconds. Pull them out, run them under cold water to stop the cooking so that they start looking like this. And then they'll end up looking like that, which is basically the same, just a little bit more tender and a little bit more bright green. If you don't have fresh peas on hand, you could actually use the frozen peas for this recipe because these are blanched just like frozen peas are. For the asparagus portion, you'll need about 8 ounces of asparagus, and you want to trim off any tough ends. I like to break them if I'm using them in a salad and they're not going to be cooked, so that I make sure that I only get the most tender parts. Normally, if I'm cooking them, I'll just sort of line them up and cut off where it seems to me that it'll become tender. But in an instance like this, where you're actually eating it raw and there's nothing tenderizing it, it's pretty important that this part not be in there because this is really tough and fibrous. So get that off. Sometimes you'll find though, if your asparagus isn't really tender, like this one, half of it goes away, but at least you know you're not going to be eating something unpleasant. Then what you do is once they're snapped to the tender, very thinly slice on a pretty sharp diagonal. This also ensures that your asparagus will be nice and tender, and it's a really nice way to eat it when it's raw like that. Add the asparagus to 1.5 cups of blanched peas, 1/2 cup of toasted chopped almonds, really nicely toasted, and about 1/4 cup of mint. You can tear the leaves if they're big or coarsely chop them if you want to. Mint is a great flavor pairing with both asparagus and peas. Such a springy flavor, right? Don't you think? I think so. You can save a few cute leaves for the top. I always like to do that. Make your food look beautiful. Season with some salt and pepper. And then olive oil and rice vinegar. Rice vinegar is a really nice, delicate flavor with these spring ingredients. You can use champagne vinegar, you can use white wine vinegar too if you want. Whatever appeals to you and what you have on hand. You don't have to necessarily go out and buy rice vinegar if you don't have any, but if you do, make sure that it's unseasoned rice vinegar. We're not using the seasoned stuff here. Give it a toss. Oh my gosh, I could eat this whole bowl myself, so fresh. That's it. The salad is done. Think about that, look at that. Oh my gosh. It's so beautiful. Sometimes you put together some ingredients and you think, this is not gonna be amazing, or it'll be good, but like unremarkable. This is not one of those times. You put these together and you think, oh my gosh, I can't believe that those few simple ingredients came together into something so delicious so quickly. Crunchy nuts really make this. Love it.